Why did the homeless horse fall down? Because it was unstable. Welcome to the stream, my friends. Happy Thursday. I hope you are well. Thank you for being here with me tonight. We've got Dead Zergling first in chat tonight. Happy to have you here, Zergling, and Classic Action Dave. Welcome in. Pleasure to have you here as well. Hope you're doing well. Lucent Jelly, welcome in. Happy afternoon. Happy afternoon, Dave. Thank you for being here, Jelly. So we've got Tears of the Kingdom tonight, my friends. One game, one hopefully sizable session. Theodoros, welcome in. That was bad. Uh, I thought that one was all right. I thought that one was all right. I told that one to Jelly, and she laughed more at the setup than the punchline. Uh, And then I asked her, "Do you think I shouldn't use that one?" And she said, "Oh, I thought you were repeating one you'd heard from somewhere else." And I said, "Well, I don't think I'm probably the first person to ever think of it, but I don't have any specific memory of hearing it before, so which is the rule for my jokes. I don't have to be 100% sure they're original. I just have to be sure that I haven't heard it before." Couldn't sleep this time, Dave says. I'm sorry to hear that. I definitely am no stranger to sleeplessness myself, but I am happy that it means that we get to enjoy your company for a little while. So this is a very blind, very slow playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom. I avoided in the lead up to its release 100%, well, close to 100% of the marketing materials. So things that may seem like basic knowledge about the game that a lot of people should know, I may not, and let's keep it that way, please. Be very careful not to spoil anything for me uh, as we move through it. We are going through in a very slow, very exploratory manner. This is a very story light playthrough. I only occasionally and rarely advance the story, and only in small pieces so far. We will go through the whole story of the game, but it just hasn't been a priority for me yet. And there's probably going to be a lot of confusion and blundering, but there are some magical times that happen with a game like this. I've been really enjoying it. Itarama, welcome in, Itty. Thank you for the pistachios. I did. Some people may notice I do have the wheel of scorching is turned off tonight. I flossed my teeth before the stream, and I cut my gums a little bit, and I'm feeling a little sensitive, and I'm not going to irritate that with any spicy foods tonight. So we are going to take a night off from that. But pistachios are always welcome. Though, you know, salt is probably not the smartest thing either. They are salted, but that that I will endure. Two good jokes in a row. Are you sure this is still Frownie streaming Zergling Ash? I get lucky sometimes. Hope you get well soon. Thank you, Dave. You don't think you've played this either? This is a very new game. It came out almost exactly 2 weeks ago at this point. Okay, we do have audio. There was no music, so I couldn't really tell. Yeah, sounds good. So, I don't really know how we're going to start tonight. We finished off last time. We rescued this Korok. I think the best thing for me to do is to start off the night by looking for towers and shrines. Take a look at our map for a moment. I think I want to work my way south. Maybe back here to the Great Plateau. Yeah. Device dispenser. I didn't know those were on the map. That's cool. Alright, I am way further north than I thought I was. I don't think I want to go all the way over there to that tower. Alright, off we go. Looking for adventure. It looks like Breath of the Wild. I mean, yeah, they didn't change much between the two games. If you haven't played Breath of the Wild, I would probably recommend to most people to play that one first. Not that you really need to enjoy this game, I don't think. But Breath of the Wild is, in its own right, you know, a game that I enjoyed a very great deal. But I think that it might be hard to go back to that one if you play this one first. They're very similar, so that might not be the case. I don't know. But some of the abilities you get in this one, I imagine it could be hard to get used to not having them again if you go backward. So we need to bring a rock. Oh, there's a rock right here. Oops. Nope. Played too much Alundra. I forgot what all the buttons do in this game. You played Breath of the Wild? Right on. I played that one, I was lucky. I was able to get a Switch and Breath of the Wild right at launch, and playing through that game, like, right when it came out was a really wonderful experience. Okay, I want to kind of move toward the east more than the west. I don't really want to head off into the desert because I don't have a very wide set of clothing. I'm not really prepared to deal with the extreme temperatures of the desert, so I'm going to kind of hold off on heading that direction for a while. This It's an enemy camp. I don't remember if I... Well, I know I cleared these guys out, but I don't remember if it was before or after the blood moon. And it looks like it was after, because they're not back. So, this is great. Free stuff. We'll try and hit both of these towers over here. And also spend some time on the Great Plateau. Okay. Oh no! I think this guy's gonna make it. Yeah, the fire already took him out. Okay, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Oh my goodness, it's not safe yet. Okay, a little bit of excitement to start our night off with. I'm certainly awake now. Question is, were these guys even guarding anything good? I don't see any treasure chests. Hey, Dynamite. Welcome in, my friend. Hope you are doing well today. Oh, all the wrong buttons all the time. Seems to be awfully bright out for these bats to still be flying around. I don't see any treasure chests or anything over here, though. Let's see if you're selling anything good. What's going on? You looking for someone to talk to? Hey, it's fine by me. Let's talk. I've been traveling all over the place, surveying the chasms. They've been spotted throughout the land. I had it on good authority that there's one around here, too. But I've walked as much as I'm going to walk and still haven't found it. Guess it was on bad authority. That, or I'm just bad at finding it. They said a chasm is around here somewhere, but come on, where is it already? I've searched and searched. If someone found that thing... It got itself unfound. Maybe my information was wrong. It got itself unfound. I'm not very good at telling directions apart. Oh my goodness. This is where I want to go. Oh, nice. A yellow chew jelly is like a real blessing. I gotta be very careful to make sure I never run out of it. I'm actually downloading this game as we speak, Dave says. It looks that good. Alright. Hey, if you liked Breath of the Wild, if you enjoyed that game, I think you're really gonna enjoy this game too. I've not been disappointed with it at all. Hey, Loyal to Soil. Welcome in, Loyal. Hope you're having a great night, my friend. Welcome to Tears of the Kingdom. Oh no. First death of the night. Having a wonderful day today, Loyal says. Right on? How's your day been treating you? Very good, Loyal. I am doing well. Got outside, went for a really long walk again today. We made beef stew for dinner. Jelly and I have been making a lot of stew lately. So we had for dinner last night and tonight. Same recipe. Last night I prepped too many ingredients, basically, which turned out to be a great thing because then I just saved half of them. I saved half of them. So tonight I didn't have to cut any vegetables or meat or anything. I had it all ready to go for me from yesterday. So past Frownie was really looking out for me. I'm sure this will be a disputed opinion, but this mostly makes me miss 2D Zelda, Zergling says. Glad you're enjoying it, though. I mean, I get it. 2D Zelda is like a different thing, and I would be very excited for Nintendo to make a new 2D Zelda game, but when that might happen, we're probably not going to be lucky enough to have it anytime soon, right? actually still in the position myself where I have a handful of 2D Zelda games that I've never even gotten around to playing yet myself. So like, I'm kind of lucky that I still have a few of them to look forward to. Leftovers are always a good thing. I have enough roast for another 2 to 3 days. Not a problem at all for me, Zergling says. I tend not to... Well, that's not entirely true. I was going to say, I tend not to cook to have leftovers. It would be smarter if I did. I tend to only cook 1 meal's worth of food at a time, usually. But, like... So, you know, I didn't actually do the cooking for tonight yesterday, but I did have all the prep work done, and boy, that was amazing. But I have to walk that back, because I do... When I make chili, or if I make, like, pasta sauce, then I usually make those in gigantic batches that I can eat for, like, a week at a time. Hey, Derek Ocean, welcome in. Happy Thursday to you, my friend. Hope you are well. I got new pants. Welcome in, Mile High Rule. Congratulations on the new pants. So you found the glide tights. I take it. Sorry my directions weren't very helpful, but there was really no way of me narrowing it down for you. Do you want caffeine tonight? I sure do, Jelly. I sure do. Maximum amount of caffeine in my coffee, please. This guy is gonna ruin me. And it's raining. No. I really wanted to escape up that piece of rock. And alas. I don't specifically aim for leftovers, Zergling says, but they happen a lot with me. Situations like cooking 8 pounds of roast at once and 12 pounds of bacon at once. Leftovers are gonna happen. I don't know. I think you just need a bigger appetite, Zergling. 20 pounds of meat is nothing, right? I have this kombucha drink tonight, and it's made with flowers. It's made with elderflower and jasmine and violet, and it certainly is floral, but it also reminds me of like pickle brine. It's pretty good though. That description probably doesn't sound all that great, but I like it. I think I've had it before, and I didn't recall liking it very much, but I like it a lot more tonight. So I'm glad I gave it another try. My Hyra says I had leftover pizza today. Leftover pizza is, I feel, sometimes even better than fresh pizza. Put in the air fryer. And a bit too long and overdid it. Oh no. Well, that's not going to make it better. I did that one to myself. Hey, Rafnir, welcome in. Hope you are well tonight. Hope your Tears of the Kingdom adventures have been treating you well. I'm having a bit of a rough start tonight. All thanks to my own foolishness. As usual. But we're going to get things turned around here. Went well tonight. Down my first dungeon and boss was fun. Right on. GG on that. I am nowhere near heading to my first dungeon. I am still completely in a exploration and nonsense mode. I was like 20 or 30 hours in until I did my first dungeon, Mile Hyrule says. I've got quite a ways to go before I'm ready for that. Uh-oh. It would appear I have been spotted. The spear makes this guy unassailable. No. Exploration and nonsense mode is the whole game. I mean, it's all my favorite parts, right? Zerling says, I can put away 2 pounds of meat in a day pretty comfortably, but more is definitely pushing it for me. Yeah, I would say I probably have about between a half to 1 pound of meat a day. Sometimes a little less. I mean, I would definitely, if I were eating only meat, I would have a lot more, but naturally. But typically for me, it's usually a pound of meat a day at the most, and frequently closer to like a half or 2/3 of a pound. Hey cows, welcome in. Happy Thursday to you. I have a mushroom on the sword. I didn't put it there, that an enemy did. I sure wish it wasn't raining. I put a stone talus heart on a sword, though. Oh, they assign their weapons differently. That's good for me. That's really good for me. When the guy with the armor had the halberd? No! I can't pick it up. He was unassailable. Claymore, I don't want another two-handed weapon. I have enough of those. I do want this spear. Or this halberd, rather. What can I get rid of? I think I've used that up a bit. Talus Heart Hammer for the win. It's great. It's great. Did I miss anything thrilling? I found a single Korok cows. I think that's the only thing I've really done so far tonight. I fought a couple enemies. Died a few times. The usual. In that regard. But we're really just kind of getting started still, so there hasn't been a whole lot to miss. Last time we played, for those who weren't here for that, I was in a shrine where I wanted to move a block across a huge gap. And so what I did was I dropped all of my weapons on the ground and I glued them together end to end and glued them to the side of the block. So that I had a really long stick of swords so that I could push the block over this gap. And then of course I dropped the block and my entire stick of weapons down into a bottomless pit and lost them all. I lost 100% of my weapons in one of the shrines. We're good now. We're good. I've got a bunch. That's why I have this. That's why I even picked up the farming hoe in the first place, Mile High Rule, is because I had 0 weapons when I came across it. I think it's the first time in either game that I ever completely ran out of weapons. I don't recall in Breath of the Wild ever being 100% out of weapons. I don't know how I could forget it if it did happen, but I don't think it ever did. I hit myself, of course. Well, that's about how that needed to go. I think Twitch ate up my first message. Welcome in, Game and Fit. Great to have you here. I'm completely overwhelmed with this game. There's just too much stuff to do. That, that's the nature of this game. Derek says, my sister got me hooked on a new show. 911 Lone Star. It's my new addiction. I've never heard of it. I did a similar thing in a shrine, Itty says. Ball was meant to be moved a specific way, and I said nay. That is the appropriate response. One thing I love about this game is they don't cheap out on giving you arrows. They don't give me as many arrows as I would like, but I've more often than not had a comfortable amount, so I shouldn't complain. It's odd that adding this rock to my halberd would be an improvement. Doesn't it just make for a dull tip? My last electric charge. Oh, my last arrow. Run, Link. Or not arrow, but yeah, my bow broke. That's what I mean. Last arrow from that bow. Well, I would have been dead if that had hit me. No, what am I running into? You know what? Let's go real strong. Oh. Oh, I blew myself up. That's a real shame. You just pulled the same move the foot soldiers and turtles 2 do. You're not wrong. I was hoping for that to do much more damage than it did. Oh no, he didn't get stuck that time. He's so much faster than me. Also, I'm next to a tree. No. Right, this is a really bad place to pause, but I need to for a moment, my friends. Alright, coffee acquired. Thank you, Jelly. Look forward to that once it's cooled a little bit. And I got apple, and I actually have some cheese tonight. Just a little bit. I need a plan. I need a plan. This guy's too tough. Well, my plan is to run around until the rain stops, I think. I think that's going to be step one of my plan. Oh no, he's running out of stamina. Oh, how did I miss? He's so giant. How did I miss twice? Now I'm out of those. Your aim leaves something to be desired, my friend. That was in reference to the halberd, not the arrows. The arrows are my fault. Nice! Victory! Finished him off with his own weapon. Boss Bokoblin Guts. A rare material dropped by a boss bokoblin. It moves constantly and looks grotesque. Toss it in a stew with some critters to create elixirs. Black Boss Bokoblin Horn. A double-edged, axe-shaped horn with 2 leader bands. Attach it to a weapon to greatly increase attack power or cook it with a critter to make an elixir. Nice. Thank you for the GG. Thank you for the victory. Oh, yes. Thank you, Mile High Rule and Hrafnir. It looks grotesque. That's gross. Link appears to have no hesitation when those spikes hurt when it comes to consuming his enemies. Lizzle Boomerang, a curved sword favored by the Lizalfos. It's made of metal, so it can safely be used near a fire. If you throw it, it will return to you. Cool. Do I want it? Not really. I'm going to leave it here. Hey, welcome in Raiders. Illy Beans, thank you for the raid. As always, I hope you are well, my friend. What were you doing tonight? How did your stream go? Please don't blow up. We're very happy to have you here, Ellie Beans and Raiders. This is Tears of the Kingdom. We're starting off the night with a whole bunch of what will hopefully be some tower climbing and shrine solving. I'm just kind of taking my time getting anywhere. That's a one-handed weapon. Thank goodness. Alright, who are you? Up is easy, down is hard. Don't have access to the keyboard yet. I thought that was going to blow up in your face when you jumped off the box. I was worried about that, Mile High Roll. I was very worried about that. Jelly Beans was... So special events was the category. That's probably not a game title, right? What event could this be? Something to celebrate? What's going on? Oh no, we already talked to this guy. Oh no. No, wait. He gave me a whole bunch of different information that time. You can blast yourself high into the sky by using the Skyview Tower nearby. You won't catch me doing that. That sky is awful high up there. Oh no. Well, I skipped over a big piece of dialogue because I thought he was just repeating himself. Turns out it was new information, and I just missed out. Oh well, such is life. It's already raining again? Miyamoto, please patch this game. The rain is out of control. That was not bad. I usually don't get a whole lot of rupees out of those bunnies. Song of Storms. Why, sir, are you attempting to place this on such uneven terrain? No, I don't really know what I'm doing, I will admit. But it's all gonna work out regardless. These signs are no joke. My favorite thing in the game, Mylyro says. They're pretty fun. They've definitely gotten more interesting. Like the first few were pretty whatever, and now I see their plan for ramping up the difficulty. Don't worry about that piece. It's okay. It's doing what it's supposed to do. All right. Surely that can't fall over. It could fall toward him, but I mean that would be his fault. Actually, you know what? You know what? I'm actually not confident. I will be confident very soon, though. Maybe I won't. Oh. Yeah, here we go. Well, that's no good. That didn't help me out at all. Ah, the missing ingredient. Wouldn't be surprised to see him hiding a... Wouldn't be surprised to see him hiding a sign underwater at some point. I see you are dead in that guy's future. Fingers crossed, everyone. Hey, victory. That's a great job. Good thing there's no requirement for use minimal pieces. Perfect. Your guy looks like a gnome or one of those troll dolls from the 90s. A wonderful aesthetic. I feel bad for the poor dude. That worked. I'm so surprised. The most elaborate signpost ever built. That was good. That was good. I like that contraption. Alright, we got some rupees and some food, of course. Mushroom rice balls. And bomb flour. Nice. I wanted one of those. And with that, I'm off. Hey, welcome back, Illy Beans. It was a miniatures painting stream. Oh, that sounds like good times. I was painting the 4 hero figures from my Hero Quest board game. Right on. My sister is really big into miniatures. She's big into miniatures. She's really into them though. She uses them for Pathfinder. So while I don't really have a lot of experience with them myself, I'm always admiring the work that she does. She likes to paint her own figures. That sounds like good times. No, I blew up some of the chew jellies, I think. I'm saved. Thanks for the assist. Here, it's the least you deserve. Hearty fish pie. Restores your full health and temporarily increases your maximum hearts. A mainstay in any fisherman's home, the crisp crust pairs well with the fishy flavor. Hey, thank you for that. That's an amazing food. Farther along the road to the southeast, there's a place called the Birthplace of Hyrule, but it's blocked by a high cliff. The portcullis, I don't know that word, that might have been the intended entrance has crumbled, so there's no getting in anymore. We think that if we could climb to the top of the castle wall, we'd find a chasm at the top, but there's no way to be sure. Alright, bomb flower to the rescue. It would be funny if you went through all that work and it just fell over anyway. I mean, that's my usual experience, Game and Fit. It's nice to, it's nice to have something different from the normal happen every now and then. No, my bomb flower wasn't good enough. Oh. We'll be fine. I think this can break these too. Oh, it's so slow. Bomb flowers are way better. This spinning is not bad. Can I crawl through? I can! Victory! We made it in, just barely, but we made it in. Oh no, he's got friends. Powerful friends. Hey, fresh and gluten-free, welcome in. Hello, I am back to Chaos Contraptions. Hey, welcome back. We just did one. I don't know if that was right before. It might have been right before you got here. I just built another nonsensical structure. Big into miniatures. See that bad joke peeps on here? That was actually funny. Thank you, Dynamite. I feel undeserving of the praise, but I'm gonna take it. It was only a little funny. A miniature joke, if you will. Nice. Alright, here's the moment. This is why I insisted on carrying this farming hoe around, because I knew I could turn it into a hammer. It was actually quite a good hammer until it disintegrated. There we go. That's the kind of move I need to make. think I'm about to be hit with a boulder. Link, run away. Take shelter. Whoa, that was close. These guys appear to be non-flammable. Nope, stop. Gotta head out. Let me hide somewhere real quick. Been procrastinating my writing for too long. I should get to work. I hope that goes well for you, Hrafnir. Best of luck. Thank you for joining us for a little while. Scriven, welcome in. Thank you for joining us for a while. Hope you are well tonight. Oh, thank goodness. I think we're safe now. I can have something to eat. Collect a whole bunch of things. Tired of seeing these Tears of the Kingdom streams, and the streamer isn't crying. Well, then you're in the right place, because, my streams always end up making me cry. I don't know what this blue rock is, but it's pretty cool. Oh, of course it was hiding a bubble frog. I didn't leave any goodies behind up here. Sure feels like I could have. After not playing anything at home for almost a year, I just set up TurboGrafx, Genesis, Super NES, and Neo Geo. All good to go here. Time to old school game again and see if I'm still as good as I act like I am. Excellent, Dynamite. That is great to hear. Have you decided what you're going to play first? have a feeling I'm not going to make it very far into this area. Magician Lord, but I'm scared. I don't think I know that game. Oh no, I made an axe. I wanted to make a hammer and I made an axe. Alright, well, I still... well, yeah. I'll use my one bomb. My one bomb has already been used. Never mind. Either that or Bonk's Adventure. I've never played Bonk's Adventure. Actually, I haven't played Magician Lord either, but I don't know anything about that game. Bonk's Adventure I haven't played, but I've heard of. It's been recommended to me a few times. There's a shrine down here. Cool. I'm happy with this find. First shrine of the night, here we come. Alignment of the circles. Alright, so if you haven't been here for our tiers playthrough, or if you need a reminder, I've got two kind of loose general rules for the shrine. One is if I think there's an intended solution. I mean, there's always an intended solution. But I try as hard as I can to do as much of the shrine in an unintended way as possible. And two, I try to never use my paraglider within a shrine. So far I'm pretty good on both of those as well. So we'll see how this goes tonight. Looks like I just have to guess the correct thing here. This doesn't look like a super, like, interesting shrine. Are the shrines this game's answer to the dungeons, basically? So, in Breath of the Wild, there are 120 shrines that are pretty comparable to the shrines in this game. And there are 4 to 5, depending on how you count it. They're like 5 dungeons. And, so they are different things, but the dungeons in Breath of the Wild were pretty small. So the shrines do a lot of the, like, the abundance of shrines is supposed to, I think, make up for the small quantity and size of the dungeons in Breath of the Wild. And I don't really know what to expect about it from this game. I kind of expect it's going to be a very similar situation, but I can't speak with confidence or clarity on that until I find and complete a dungeon, which I probably won't do for a very long while yet. Shrine on, you crazy diamond. I don't know my own strength. Even that's no good, huh? I saw those things on the roof before, but I thought there were only 3 of them, and so I started to ignore them. This might be our opportunity for mischief. Can I get myself over this without opening the door? I was actually going to ask you or the chat what I should boot up and play 16-bit wise. Realize that I no longer have basically any old school gamer friends left in life. None of my current friends have a clue what Star Fox or Splatterhouse, etc. is. I don't know very many retro gamers IRL either. I know what that's like. So far as suggestions, I would expect that you probably know more games than I do. Super NES Buffet. Try out some games and I'm sure you'll find something you enjoy. When it comes to retro, the Super NES was considered the golden age for home consoles, Game & Fit says. You really can't go wrong with most of them. I wouldn't argue with that. I do think Dynamite is a bigger Genesis than Super NES fan, though. Not to put words in your mouth, Dynamite, but I think I recall you saying that. Let me think for a moment and see if I can think of anything particularly good. can't remember if SNES is 16 or 32 bits. I was riding around on training wheels back in those days. Super NES is 16. If you've never gotten around to Super Contra... sorry, if you've never gotten around to Super Turrican, then that's definitely worth a play. It's kind of like... I mean, it's like a less good version of Contra. But definitely worth a try. Or if you want to play something really easy, I don't know if you've ever played Magical Quest starring Mickey Mouse, but I like that game a lot. No, I'm gonna fall. So those might be some things to consider. I mean, you know, like, I'm trying not to do, like, my go-to, which would just be, like, you know, Super Ghouls and Ghosts, of course. Or something that I'm pretty sure you've already played. That might be out of my grabbing range now. I didn't think about that. It is out of my grabbing range. Oh well, I kind of deserved that. Well, that's not useful to me. So why don't I attach this to it, too? What am I doing? That gives me a whole other piece to work with. Sorry to hijack the stream and make it about me. No, you're fine, Dynamite. That's perfectly... You're perfectly fine. I'm just really bad at giving recommendations, sadly. Hey, Christian Cool. Welcome in. Thank you for the lurk. Applevania. No. Oh, no. No, I'm gonna lose it. This is the worst. I'm gonna lose my tool. There's no way to get it back from here. I have to reset the shrine. The SNES Mickey's Magical Quest games are an excellent suggestion. I've beaten them, but there's a part 3 on the Super Famicom that I've not checked out. That'll be first up on the docket. Right on. Well, I'm glad I could be of help. I've only played the one, the first Magical Quest, but I really like that game. I played one on the Genesis as well, which I think is it's got to be part of the series, the Great Circus Mystery. I don't like that one as much. I don't like the power-ups that you get as much in that one. But I really like the first one on the Super NES. Hey, Buddha Fingers. Good to see you again, my friend. Hope you are doing well, of course. I've got a question for you. Have you ever beaten Battletoads as player 2? I have not. Like, as in instead of player 1. I have not. I did load it up like that the other day by accident. I was using Battletoads to test out the NES Advantage when I was trying to get that working again. And I started the game up as the second Battletoad. It was like the first time I'd ever even seen the second Battletoad. But it hadn't actually occurred to me to play the entire game as the player 2. That could be interesting to do. I've heard horror stories about heard horror stories about how much more difficult it is with 2 players. So I'd like to give it a try, but I don't think that'll happen. Unless I learn to operate both controllers myself. The Genesis Mickey games. Everyone lauds Castle of Illusion as an amazing game, but I don't get it. The sequel World of Illusion is, to me, at least in the convo for best Genesis game ever. I don't know that I've even, like, heard World of Illusion. I don't think I do that. I think I didn't even know there were 2 games. Frownie's made a giant baby rattle. Yeah. I think I have. Alright, what do we get? Hardy Elixir. Nice. Alright, here's the thing. Can I even get back out of here to clear the shrine? I'm locked in. Ooh, I might be able to. I don't know. This is gonna be tricky. Oh, if I can get up there, we'll be fine. Alright. It actually might be easier than I think it is, but I'm gonna try to do it the quickest way and not the easiest way. That's a bad idea. Let's do it the easiest way. No! Hey, I'll give this one more try. Hey, we made it out. Look at that. Victory. Another shrine completed with a healthy dose of nonsense and no paraglider. Let me some road rash on Genesis. Did I tell you how I accidentally murdered my SNES with Kool-Aid and got a Genesis instead? I don't remember if you shared that story, Game and Fit. Oh, Budafingers had said, I thought you'd jump at an excuse to fire up more toads. Gladly, Budafingers. I mean, I don't really need an excuse. I'll play it again just to stay in practice. It's been a couple weeks now. So I'm sure some rust is forming. Alright, Baby Rattle. I did that to my Atari 2600 with milk, Scriven says. Oh no. Right into the cartridge slot. Oh. I feel your pain. I set a beer on a PlayStation 1, Dynamite says. You could guess what happened. I destroyed the family's, I destroyed my dad's Commodore 64 with a glass of soda when I was very young. I don't actually know if he replaced it or repaired it. I imagine he repaired it because he was very good. He's always been very good at that kind of stuff. Yeah, a lot of electronic devices seem to have a much shorter lifespan if there are children around. So, I mean, there's like a lot of stuff inside the rock, but I don't know what my odds of finding anything valuable are. I think I'd rather mine with explosives. So project's gonna be something I think we come back to. I'd like to break that open. So. I don't have to dig my way back out. So we're 2 hours into night, and we've completed one shrine. That's about par for course around here, I reckon. There's that chasm we've heard about. There's a tower. I'd like to try and get to that tonight. And maybe even that one. Might be a tall order. But I want to explore the Great Plateau some. Be nice to see like some of these, like, revisit some of these places from early Breath of the Wild memories. And I think that there's a good chance of there being, like, you know, 4, maybe as many as 5 shrines up here, so.
The glow of the blood-stained moon shines upon the
At this
land.
pace, you have enshrined a great experience, Butterfinger says.
Slain monsters return to flesh. The world is threatened once again.
I think this is a Korok puzzle. I missed. No. That's surprising to me. I really thought dropping that rock in there was going to do the trick. I think I'm going to go to bed. I'll try to see you next time. Thank you, Classic Action Dave. Appreciate you being here. I hope you managed to get some sleep and that you awake fully rested and restored. And hopefully we'll get to see you again. Good night, my friend. Treasure chest in the ground. Don't mind if I do. Nice. They're spinning too fast. I'm getting dizzy. Well, that was a Korok puzzle. Yahaha. Korok's in the chat. Get out of the way. Why am I fighting this tree with it? Oh my goodness. I can't believe that just happened. I had plenty of hearts. That's unacceptable. The game didn't even bother to respawn the living tree. I was so embarrassed about what it did to me. I figured it out. For me, it definitely isn't the games. It's like Frownie is the calming gaming DJ of the night, whether he knows it or not. Thank you, Dynamite. Wow, that's a nice bow. Oh, I think I found another Korok. I did a question mark? I don't know what this is. It's like a cork. Huh. Yahaha. Hey, it's someone friendly. Wow. Our meeting here must be fate. You know, I really like your look. So much so that I'm officially offering you a place in the fan club I founded. You'll be our second member. Oh, you want to know who it's for? Here's a hint. He's got a smile like a sunbeam and the most charming potbelly you'll ever see. Who else could it be but the Yiga clan's own Master Koga? And the membership fee is so reasonable. It's only your life. Oh. What a terrifying encounter. Okay, this is cool. There's a lot of those going on. The that's I think that's the third time that's happened to me. It's very alarming. I just want the mushroom outfit for myself, Cal says. These Yiga clan members are cringeworthy enough to cause the player to enter a comatose state. Alright, do I have any... Alright, I got a stamella bulb. And a stamella shroom. And some salt, because why not? Energizing salt grilled greens. So if I hadn't included the salt, what would happen? Energizing steamed mushrooms. Alright, so it gives you one extra heart. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. Is it a hot take that I suggest that I still like Ocarina more than Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? Game and Fit says. I mean, you're allowed to do that. There are things about Ocarina that I enjoy more than things about these games, but I don't prefer it overall. Myself. Okay, we're gonna cook this tireless frog with I don't know, horribling claw. Make an elixir. That is a weak elixir. I guess I didn't include very good ingredients. I have a feeling this is just going to give me a dubious food. I was right. Alright, that's enough cooking for now. It's like River City Ransom and Dead Rising with the tons of items you'll probably never use. Hopefully I'll find some excuse to use a lot of them, but no, I think you're absolutely right that a lot of this stuff, you know, most of us are never going to get around to. I would like to use you know, not saying I would like to use every single item that I have, but I would like to at least use one of every type of item, you know, like along the way. I don't know whose idea it was to make the trees an enemy. They really kind of ruined the forest for me, though. I think it's a hot take, but my take detector is broken, Cow says. These are fun to play and can make you and everyone watching laugh, but like you do a side quest or a hard puzzle and it's like, here's 50 bucks, here's 10 arrows, here's an opal. Whereas with Ocarina, you do a side quest, you end up with a cow in your house. Or a bigger quiver. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the trade-off though, right? When you, like... The more side quests you have, the, like, more underwhelming the rewards are gonna be. That death set me so far back. That's the most punishing death I've had this whole playthrough, I think. Step right up, come and chill. Hot bananas fresh off the grill. Hold them in your hands, feel the heat. Take a big bite, what a treat. And the flavor like a dream. A little taste of heaven, if you know what I mean. Stop right there and buy a pair. Grill one up for me. That's expensive. I'll pass. Alright then, hope you come back soon. That's a lie fresh off the grill of deception. Beg the bananas forgiveness? What in the world? The Yiga clan take their bananas very seriously. That they do. As a banana eater myself, I can't say I blame them. Oh, you know what? The worst thing is that erased all the cooking that I did. So now I gotta stand around and cook for 1,000 hours again. No, I didn't want to cook just the one. Alright, I didn't remake the elixirs that I made, but I didn't really feel like they were worthwhile, so. That was an intentional decision not to remake those. One of these days, I'm gonna hit you in the face. Get my hearts back. I can explain to you, Loyal. The wheel isn't on because I'm taking a break from it tonight. I flossed my teeth before the stream and I cut my gum, and I'm not gonna irritate it with spicy food. I strike this stream right now. We'll see you later, Loyal. Have a great rest of your night. Well, that was terrible. How very unloyal. Well, I hope you liked all that cooking. I didn't fall out of the tree. I got hit with a rock. I mean, I might have fell out of the tree afterward, but I was already dead by that point, so I didn't care anymore. Wow, our meeting here must be fate. You know, I really like your look, so much so. Alright, we already read this dialogue. That fashionable, like, floral mushroom outfit reminds me of, like, some of, like, my grandmother's furniture from when I was a kid. Puff shroom. One. It's like, an activity doesn't get to be tedious and demand that I pay attention to the inputs. It's one or the other. Thank goodness. Whew. Come explore over this way. Oh, yuck. The only way to keep myself from getting overwhelmed is to take this game one small step at a time. I mean, that sounds to me like the best way to do it. Alright, finally. I could still ride those up. I don't think that they would take me all the way up there, though. There's a lot of tough enemies up here on the plateau. Oh no, this guy's in armor. I'm dead. Alright, I really don't want to try and engage in combat with every single monster in this area, because with my equipment situation being what it is, all I'm going to do is deplete all the resources I'm carrying with me. So I'll give them some space. Ooh, a dragon. Right, let's see what's become of the Shrine of Resurrection. Is that hot springs? It is. That's... Oh, okay, that's not it. This place is, seems different. Well, there's something behind this. Aha! Eightfold long blade. Attack power 8. I guess I can drop this axe. Danger? Your behavior is a threat? Zonai charge. Nice. I must protect myself. I'm not really sure what to make of this. It looks like the Shrine of Resurrection has been taken over by the Yiga clan. But I'm not really sure what the implications of that may be. Sticky lizard. The suction of its toes allows this lizard to easily cling to walls. Could be an asset for a climber on wet surfaces if it were mixed into an elixir. Oh my goodness, they've given us a solution to climbing in the rain. Well, that was a pretty underwhelming journey, or a pretty underwhelming end to the journey to the Shrine of Resurrection there. Let's see if I can visit the temple over here without falling victim to 100,000 enemies. Porok. Oh. I wasn't expecting dialogue to read. I am trapped under the water behind the stone gate of the Great Plateau. Under the water behind the stone gate. That's something we need to go check out. Nostalgic fabric. Tough fabric bearing a nostalgic design. It looks like it could be used to make a paraglider. I like my purple paraglider. Thank you very much. Wow, there's an opal in there? I'm breaking all these pots. I wish I had nostalgic fabric, Cow says. Are you looking to make yourself a paraglider? No, terrified of heights, but it looks rather stylish. Can't deny that, not at all. Oh, it's a mushroom. I thought it was one of those glowing rabbits. Look at me. Look at me firing arrows into mushrooms. I thought I was hunting. Oh, another Korok puzzle. There's a lot of... The Korok density is really high up here on the plateau. My mother and I are definitely afraid of a white bush. We spent a good 30 seconds going, what is that thing? You can never be too cautious. There's a lot of monsters in this world. What is going on over there? It's a Gleeok. Underwater near the stone gate. I think I might know where that means. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do about anything being underwater. Okay, we'll check that out. Because I think I'm kind of near it. And then we'll see about that design on the ground. And then we'll see about these towers, maybe. Alright, see? Water, stone gate. I think that's what we're, looking for. It's awfully dark in here. Poe, a glowing spirit orb found all over the depths. Offer these to a bargainer statue for a variety of rewards. Alright, cool. Let's, nope. Need some of those bright bloom seeds. I know I have some, but I just don't know what they look like in my inventory. There might not be something I can throw. I might have to... Oh, here we go. Bingo. So I've never explored down in one of these chasms before. Hopefully this isn't a horrific mistake. What is this? Muddlebud. A wild flower with a powerful odor that can disorient and confuse, making it difficult to tell friend from foe. Oh, that's a very useful tool. My stomach is just grumbling and making all kinds of noises. So I could make a flying vehicle or a driving vehicle. If only I had 3 more fans, I could, What is this? Stop. According to Ko, this location will be destroyed. Glory to Master Koga. Duplex bow. A bow favored by the skilled archers of the Yiga clan. It's been engineered to fire 2 arrows at once to ensure your target comes to a swift and none too pleasant halt. Alright, that's a cool find. Alright, it didn't destroy me in one hit. It hurt. But it wasn't immediately lethal like so many things are. This place is gigantic. How am I ever going to light all of this enough to see what in the world is going on? Ooh, these guys look gross. They've got that stuff on them. I don't want to mess with them. pretty big down here. I don't blame you for feeling a little overwhelmed. Good thing I remembered that Ascend exists. This place down here reminds me of Dark Souls. Ascend doesn't exist, don't talk crazy. Welcome in, friends. Thank you for the raid. Jen, thank you for coming along. Yaden RMP, thank you for the raid, my friend. Very much appreciated. Welcome in, Yaden. Welcome in, friends of Yaden. Heads up, we are playing Tears of the Kingdom. I'm going to hang out here and stare at the ground for a little while, because where I am in the game could be kind of spoilery. If you don't know much about it, I'm not sure. I avoided all the promotional material released for this game, so I haven't seen any of the trailers or anything like that. So there's a lot that, you know, probably is common knowledge for a lot of people looking forward to the game that I'm still ignorant of. But I imagine where I am now could be kind of spoilery, so I wanted to give you a heads up for Tears of the Kingdom. If you need to bounce to avoid spoilers, I understand. But otherwise, thank you for being here. Appreciate you joining us. Looks like you were playing the Metroid Prime remaster. I hope that's treating you well, Yaden. I was walking through a Target earlier, and that was playing on a display. I caught a few glimpses of it today. And I was thinking, I really need to dig into the Prime games myself at some point. How are you liking Tears of the Kingdom? I'm loving this game. I've just been having one great time after another. It's a lot of fun. So I found this massive underground area, and we're kind of just starting to explore it. I've never been down in an area like this, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on. We're just running around in the dark, and I gotta light everything with these flowers that I've been carrying with me for forever. So I don't know. We're in a very weird place. We're in a very weird place. It's very cool, though. Bomb flowers, yes! There was only... Oh, there's another one! I was about to say there was only one, but... There was another one. You're smart. I just braved the dark and accepted the consequences. Oh, no, 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 no. We're not doing that. I've got to be able to look around. I don't want to spread too much light because I didn't want to scare away the fairies that are over here. Well, I still scared them away. I mean, I don't know if they're afraid of light, but they're afraid of me. I'm doing such a bad job of planning, like, where the best place to use my stuff would be. Hey, here's 3 fans. Oh, if we could combine those with the other fans that I found, we could make that flying device that I wanted to make. This is a lot of bomb flowers. It's dark because I'm underground right now, Dynamite. I'm in, like, a massive cave system. But, when you're above ground, the time of, the day cycles... Yeah, the day, it cycles through day and night. In all the, like, surface level areas of the game. It's got a pretty long day-night cycle, too. Like, it moves along... Takes a long time for a day to pass, it seems. It always feels like. And it moves really, really smooth, really fluidly. Alright, if you'll excuse me for a few minutes, my friends, I'm going to step away and take a short BRB. I will be back with you again very shortly.